Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now today I am talking again about the Steam Deck, and I thought I'd list off my top 10 favourite games I've played on the Steam Deck so far. I thought I'd do this video just to give everyone a bit of an idea if you are thinking about getting a Steam Deck for Christmas. I know a lot of people are interested in the last video, so I thought I'd just show you what the Steam Deck can run, what you can actually play on it. It's quite impressive, so if you are thinking about getting a Steam Deck for Christmas, it'll give you a better idea of what you can actually play on it. So yeah, just a few things before the video actually starts. All the footage you are seeing has been recorded on the Steam Deck. It's not been recorded on a PC or an Xbox. Some of the games I haven't been able to record because they're not installed on the Steam Deck at the moment. I haven't got that much space on my Steam Deck, so I have deleted some games, and some of them are like 90 gig, which is going to take a while to download, so I haven't had time to record the footage for that. So I'll just use a bit of footage from my last video and the trailers. It's only 2 games out of the 10, so the rest of them have been recorded. But yeah, the videos might look a bit, some of the footage might look a bit weird. Some of it here has been zoomed in because I've been recording at 1280 by 800 resolution, which doesn't actually fit the screen, so I've had to zoom in on some. So don't think that's the HUD, that's how the game looks on the Steam Deck. It's just I've had to zoom in on the editing software. So other than that, I don't think there's anything else really. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I haven't included any Valve games on this list. I haven't included Half-Life 1, 2, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, Portal 1 and 2, because it goes without saying that those games run pretty smoothly on the Steam Deck. It's like Mario on Nintendo. Of course it runs, of course it works well. Same with the Steam Deck and Valve games. Obviously I do love Half-Life 2, I've made a video on it, and all the rest of the Steam games, like the Valve games, but I thought including them on this list would just be a bit boring, because you kind of know they're going to run on there and they're going to run well, especially Half-Life 2 that came out 20 years ago, so of course it's going to run on the Steam Deck. But yeah, so there's no Valve games included. I would put them on the list, I guess they're like honourable mentions, but I didn't want to fill up the list with Valve games because it's kind of boring. So yeah, no Valve games on this list, but they are there, if you know what I mean. Alright, and so let's start off with number 10, which is Saints Row 2. Now, I'm a big fan of Saints Row 2. I've made a video on it earlier in the year. It's one of my favourite games of all time. It's definitely in my top 3 of all time. So you're probably wondering why Saints Row 2 is so far up the list. Well, that's because this is the PC port, and the PC port isn't that great. There are a few problems with it. Me personally, playing through it on the Steam Deck, I haven't run through any problems. The audio sounds a bit weird. The cutscenes sound like they've been recorded on a Game Boy Advance. I'll do a little example here.
Shit. About time your burnt ass woke up.
You okay, Johnny?
Yeah, aside from almost getting sent to the chair, I'm fucking great.
Oh my God, it's you.
Surprised, Aisha?
What, that you're here or that you're talking?
But yeah, other than that, the gameplay seems fine. I haven't really run into many glitches or bugs or problems. Maybe I haven't gone too far in the game yet, but it's Saints Row 2 on the go, portable. It's something that I've always wanted. We haven't really had. Saints Row 2 only released on the PS3, Xbox 360 and PC. It's never been re-released for anything else. So it was never going to come to the Switch. It was never going to come to the Xbox Series X updated. So this is the closest thing we can get to Saints Row 2 on the go. And yeah, it's fun. The controls work absolutely fine. You can play it offline. That's what I'm going to do with a lot of these games. He's going to tell you if you can play it without an internet connection, which with Saints Row 2 you can. You can just play it whenever. Yeah, it runs well. It's an old game as well, so it doesn't take up too much battery life. You can put the settings on the Steam Deck down, like the TDP power, and you can turn the graphics all the way up because it's a game from 2008, so of course it runs well and it's fine. I haven't really had any problems with it. I know it's the PC port and there can be a few problems when I'm playing through it in the future, but as of right now it works fine. It maps the controls already. It works. Like I've not run into any problems myself. But yeah, I thought I'd put it number 10 just in case you do get it and it does start playing up. Then you know it's at number 10. It's a fun game. It's one of my favourite games of all time, but it still has a few problems on the PC port, which is the one you're going to be playing on the Steam Deck. So yeah, some of these games I'm not going to go into too much detail. They're not reviews of the game themselves, they're just how they run on the Steam Deck. And yeah, Saints Row 2 has been fine so far. The audio has been a bit messed up, which is a bit disappointing, but other than that, it works for me. So yeah, I haven't run into too many problems of the infamous PC port of Saints Row 2, so hopefully I don't in the future. But yeah, I thought I'd put it at number 10 just in case. So yeah, number 9 on the list is Need for Speed Heat. Now this could have been any of the modern Need for Speed games. It could have been Payback, Unbound or Heat. They all work similarly well. Sometimes they drop in frames when doing big races or entering a high intensity area. No matter how much you play with the graphics and the settings and stuff, it still dips just a little bit, but it's playable. It definitely is playable. I have enjoyed it. I've picked Heat because it's my favourite game out of all three. I've played Unbound as well. Unbound's okay. It does say unsupported, I think, for Need for Speed games on the Steam Deck, but they do work, so you can play them, so don't get put off by the unsupported button. You can play these games on the Steam OS. You'd have to jump through any hoops. But yeah, I thought I'd pick Heat because it is my favourite. Now the reason it's so low on the list is because you have to always be online to play it, which is a frustrating thing, especially for a portable console. I know it's a PC, I know it's going to have the same problems as a PC or a laptop, but still, I want to play these games offline because it's a portable console. I want to take it wherever I can and play the games wherever I want. And if you haven't got an internet connection, it's hard. You can use your mobile hotspot with your phone, but my phone's battery lasts as long as a fucking TikTok, so I don't really want to use the hotspot on there because it just drains the battery. But yeah, you have to always be online to play these games. So if you are someone who's going to be on the go, if you catch planes or on a train all the time, then you're not going to be able to play Need for Speed, which is, I guess, disappointing. Some of you won't even care about playing Need for Speed, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But it runs well, it looks good, it's okay to play. Sometimes the frames do drop a bit, but it's manageable. It's not game breaking. You can get over it and just put the TD power up a little bit more and put the settings maybe medium or low. If you have them on ultra, then you're obviously going to run into more problems. But I don't think you need ultra high graphics on the Steam Deck because the screen's so small. You're not getting the full amount out of it. But yeah, another thing is they don't take up too much space either. None of the Need for Speed games do. They're about 34 gig. So if you have a small small storage on your Steam Deck or your micro SD and you want a racing game, Need for Speed games are a good choice. They don't take up that much. It's very rare for a modern game to take up less than 40 gigs, which all the Need for Speed games do. So if you want a racing game, get a Need for Speed game. I think they're on sale right now for probably like £4. So yeah, if you want that, it's cheap, it doesn't take up too much storage, it's playable, but it is always online. So if you're thinking about playing it on the go where you haven't got an internet connection, you're not going to be able to, which is a bit disappointing, and that's why it's so low on the list. But yeah, Need for Speed is a great choice for a racing game on the Steam Deck. So number 8 on the list is Metal Gear Solid 5. Now this game is quite low on the list because I haven't put that much time into it, but it had to be on the list because it's Metal Gear Solid 5 on the go. The game is 10 years old now, but it still looks unreal. You can run this in high settings. It's an old game, so the Steam Deck runs it no problem, and it looks unreal, and it's Metal Gear Solid on the go. But yeah, I know a lot of people think that the older Metal Gear Solid games are better, which I'm not gonna argue with because I'm not the biggest Metal Gear Solid fan. But for me, MGS5 was so much bigger and better. It has an open world, the graphics are unreal, the AI of the enemies is just, it's mad. So I do really like Metal Gear Solid 5. It's more like a Ghost Recon game, to be honest, and it's Metal Gear Solid 5 on the go, and you don't have to be connected to an internet connection to play it. So there's another positive. If you do like stealth games, if you're a fan of the MGS series, you can play MGS5 on the go wherever you want, on a plane, on a train, wherever. But yeah, the reason it's so low on the list is because I have deleted it to play other games, and I'm sure I will revisit it soon in the future. But as of right now, I haven't got it installed, so I thought it's no point it being higher on the list because I am playing it at the minute. So, but yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 is a great choice for the Steam Deck if you are a fan of that series or a fan of stealth games or action games. MGS5 is a great choice. I'm sure it'll go on sale every now and again for cheap as chips, so go and pick it up. It's a fun game, it works very well on the Steam Deck, and you don't have to be online to play it, so that's a bonus as well. So yeah, MGS5, Metal Gear Solid 5, number 8 on the list. Get it if you can, it's a great game. Now number 7 on the list is Fallout New Vegas. This could have been any of the Fallout games, to be honest. Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, very similar to the Need for Speed situation. I've played them all on the Steam Deck, they all work great on the Steam Deck. I picked New Vegas because it was my favourite growing up, so it's the one I've spent the most time on. The footage you're seeing is a bit shit because I'm just walking in the desert shooting at random animals because I didn't know where to go because I forgot what I was doing on my last save. But that's the reason it's so low on the list. Fallout's one of them games that I'll play for like a couple hours, put it down, and I'll pick it up for another few months, pick it back up, and then I don't know what I was doing. I don't know where I was going. I'm just sitting there in a desert with a gun, shooting at scorpions. I don't know what I was trying to do. But yeah, Fallout was the actual reason I wanted a Steam Deck. I wanted to play Fallout. My Xbox was upstairs for recording purposes, so I didn't have any way to just play it. But now I do with the Steam Deck, and I haven't really touched it too much. I am going to play it more and more in the future. I think just having that option to play it on the go, and you don't have to be connected to the internet to play it either, which is a good thing. But yeah, Fallout works well. It has the same bugs you'd expect from any Bethesda game, but that's just Bethesda in general. That's not actually the Steam Deck's fault. They all run well. Fallout 4 runs well, but I have chosen the older game just because it's older. You're going to get a lot more battery life out of it, and you can have the settings all the way up, and you can still get like 4, possibly 5 hours out of the Steam Deck. So it's a win-win, and New Vegas is one of the better games in the series, or Fallout 3. But I do like Fallout 4 as well. Fallout 4 is fine, but yeah, I had to put Fallout on here somewhere, even though I haven't spent too much time on it so far. This is the whole reason I bought a Steam Deck, and it's finally good to have Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 or even Fallout 4 now on the go. Play it wherever you want. If you're on a plane, you can play Fallout for a couple of hours to kill some time, which is just, that's unreal. But yeah, Fallout New Vegas had to be on this list because it's such a great game, and now you can play it on the go. So next up on the list is Dead Rising 2. Now you're going to start to see a trend in this video. It's going to be franchises that work well have made the list. So I've talked about Need for Speed, I've talked about Fallout. So yeah, Dead Rising is another series that all the games you can play on the Steam Deck. Some of them work better than others. Dead Rising 1, Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, and Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster all work really well on the Steam Deck. But Dead Rising 3 and 4, they're a bit tricky to play with. Dead Rising 3 is okay, it runs, it just seems, I don't know, it just seems something's wrong with it when you're playing it. But Dead Rising 4 is atrocious. I don't know why it's verified on Steam, because it doesn't work. You can run it on low settings and it's still laggy. It still feels like it's struggling. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing Dead Rising 4, but if you are a Dead Rising fan, I'm pretty sure you weren't going to play Dead Rising 4 anyway. But yeah, I've picked Dead Rising 2 because it is my favourite game in the series. If you've never played a Dead Rising game before, I highly recommend it. They are really fun to play, and Dead Rising 2 is great, and it runs well on the Steam Deck. So does Dead Rising 1 and Off the Record. They all work well. I love games on the Steam Deck where you can just download it, press play like it's a console, press play and it works. And it's no different for the Dead Rising franchise, especially the earlier games. Like I said, Dead Rising 4, I wouldn't recommend downloading it on the Steam Deck. Get it on another console because it's not great. It's really not great. Neither is Dead Rising 3. I'd stick to Dead Rising 1, 2 and Off the Record, and you're going to get a lot of battery life out of it as well because it is an old game. So yeah, Dead Rising franchise, Dead Rising 2 in particular, is perfect for the Steam Deck. So if you are a Dead Rising fan, you are looking at getting a Steam Deck, don't worry, because the best games in the series can run on it. So there you go, there's Dead Rising 2. Right then, number 5 on the list. It had to be on here somewhere, I had to put it on. It is of course GTA 5. A game that I never thought I'd see being able to be played natively on a portable console. I never thought it was going to come to the Switch. I never thought it was going to come to anything else. But here we are, we're playing it on the Steam Deck with ultra settings as well. Ultra high settings, which I don't think you actually need on the Steam Deck, to be honest. You can put it down to about high or medium because it's quite a small screen, so you're kind of wasting your battery life playing it on ultra high, but you can, it's possible in 60 frames as well. So yeah, GTA 5 had to be on here because I can't actually believe I can play it portably. Portably, is that a word? I don't know, on the go. But yeah, it doesn't require you to always be connected to the internet. It does now and again ask to be authenticated by connecting to the internet, so you will have to do that sometimes. So if you are playing away from an internet connection, connect your phone hotspot for like 2 seconds, authenticate it, then you can turn it off. I think that's how it works. But you can play it offline. I have played it offline myself, away from home, so it is possible. It will just ask you to authenticate it now and again, but yeah, so it is technically playable offline. Yeah, GTA 5, obviously we all know it, we all know what to expect from it, and it runs no problem on the Steam Deck. It's absolutely fine. You can play it at high settings, like I said. There are a few frame drops if you do play it at high settings, and you can turn the TDP power limit down to about 8 or 10, so you can get a lot of battery life out of this. I think it's like just over 2, possibly 3 hours if you play around with the settings, which is just unreal. You can play GTA 5 on the go. I don't know if that's mental to anyone else. It's mental to me. Will GTA 6 run on the Steam Deck? Probably not. It's probably never going to come to the Steam Deck, but yeah, GTA 5 works on here pretty well. Just be ready to give away half your storage when you if you want to install it. But yeah, it works. GTA 5, it works on the Steam Deck. It works. That's all I've got to say, really. So number 4 on the list is emulators. I know it's technically not a game, but I wanted to sort of bundle these in. I'm not going to tell you how to get these emulators working on the Steam Deck. That's something you can Google or look at on YouTube. It's pretty easy to do. But yeah, all the footage you're seeing are games that I physically own. So now that's out of the way, it's time to talk about emulators. Now, of course, the Steam Deck is a high-end PC technically, so emulators run absolutely fine on it. PS2, GameCube emulators run really well. There are a few PS2 games that haven't worked for me. Juiced 1 and 2, and then The Getaway, they didn't work for some reason. I'm pretty sure there's some settings I can play around with to get them to work, but I just uninstalled them because I can live without playing Getaway or Juiced 1 and 2. But a lot of the PS2 games work perfectly. I'll probably have some footage up for you now. GameCube games work tremendously well. I can play all my old games. I can play the old Need for Speed games, I can play Tekken, I can play Jak and Daxter, and they all work really well. Obviously, you can install PS3 and Xbox 360 emulators on here. I've tried it with Skate 3. They work sort of. I wouldn't recommend it just now because you're not going to get a great gameplay experience out of them just yet. Skate 3 works okay, but that's the only game I've had any success with on the Steam Deck. So I would stick to now just to PS2 and GameCube. I've even tried the original Xbox and that has a few problems. I have played Halo and Jet Set Radio Future on the Xbox emulator and they seem to work, but a lot of games don't. So if you are looking to emulate, I'd only go up to about PS2, GameCube era. Obviously Dreamcast, PS1, N64 should work perfectly well on here. But yeah, I'd stick to about the PS2, GameCube games because that's the most success I've had. About 85% of games work for those consoles. So yeah, I'd stick to them. But you just get this app called EmuDeck on your device, and that just gets all the emulators for you, and it's super simplified. All you have to do then is get the ROMs, which I can't tell you how to do, but Google is your friend, so is YouTube. I'm not going to do it here, but yeah, you figure that out for yourself. So here we are, we're talking about the top 3 games I've played on the Steam Deck, which is a bit ironic because the next game I'm about to talk about, number 3, Forza Horizon 4, I do not have installed on the Steam Deck at the minute. That is because it takes up a lot of space. I think it is over 100 gig, so I uninstalled it to make space for other games, and then I swapped it with Need for Speed because Need for Speed's only 34 gigs. They're not the same game, they're not similar in any way other than racing, but Yeah, I've played a lot of Forza Horizon 4. I've done a lot of the races on it. I've played a lot of it, so I thought it was time to uninstall it. But it is still super fun on the Steam Deck. The footage you're seeing is from my last video and also probably a trailer somewhere in there. But yeah, Forza Horizon 4 works perfectly well on the Steam Deck. I would recommend you putting it on medium settings and having to play with the rest of the settings, sort of the TDP power limit and the frame rate, because with racing games you really don't want to see big frame drops, which you can get in these games if you have the settings on too high, which again you don't really need for the Steam Deck. It's a small screen. They don't need to be super ultra high, so just bring them down a bit and you could have a decent time playing Forza Horizon 4 on this device. I have personally enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure Forza Horizon 5 is the same. I don't think you can actually buy Forza Horizon 4 anymore. I think it's been delisted now, but from what I've seen for Forza Horizon 5, it's a similar story in terms of how it runs on the Steam Deck. And also I think you can play it offline as well, but I think you need to authenticate it now and again, similar to what you have to do in GTA 5. But yeah, you can play it offline, which is why I chose it over Need for Speed, because it's a racing game. I enjoy racing games and I can play it anywhere I want on the go. And I do like the map of Forza Horizon 4 because it is set in the UK, so I get to drive on the right side of the road for once in a racing game. They're normally set in America, so it's fun to drive on a motorway like you do in the UK in a game. So yeah, I do really enjoy Forza Horizon 4 and it works perfect on the Steam Deck. So number 2 on the list is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which I'm sorry I'm mentioning Call of Duty again, but yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 had to be high on this list. I have spent a lot of hours playing it. I only play it for one reason and one reason only, and of course that's zombies. Multiplayer I wouldn't recommend. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of hacking going on Black Ops 3 multiplayer, and the campaign is shocking, so you don't actually need to play those. And plus you can delete those files off the game, so you just have the zombies mode, and it saves a bit of space, but it still is about 90 gig. But another good thing about Black Ops 3 is you can play it offline, which I didn't expect from a Call of Duty game. But yeah, you don't have to connect to the internet at all. You don't have to authenticate it. So if I want to play a game that needs authenticating and I'm not got an internet connection, I'll just go and play Call of Duty Black Ops 3 instead, because I never need to authenticate it, or I haven't been asked to yet. So yeah, Black Ops 3 had to be here. It's only for zombies as well. But yeah, you get all the Black Ops 3 maps, you get all the Zombies Chronicles maps. But the only reason Black Ops 3 is so high on this list is because you get custom zombie maps on here, and it's so easy to download them. You just go on the Steam Workshop, you subscribe to one, it downloads to your device, and then you can play it. And there's so many fun custom zombie maps out there. There's a Total Wipeout one, there's one based on Rust, which is probably the gameplay you're seeing right now. There's so many out there. There's the Tony Hawk's one, there's one set in Half-Life 2, there's one set in Portal. There's a lot to play. And so if you're a zombies fan and you always wanted to play the custom zombies maps you see people playing on YouTube, get a Steam Deck, you can play them all. Some of the maps do struggle to run on the Steam Deck, especially that water park map that came out a few months ago, and some of the bigger, more ambitious maps will struggle on the Steam Deck. So stick to the smaller ones and you'll have fun. There's a Dead Rising map as well. Dead Rising, Tony Hawk's, Portal, Half-Life. There's so many custom zombies maps to have fun with. So if you are a fan of custom zombies, if you're a fan of zombies in general and you've never had the chance to play custom zombie maps, maybe you've stuck to PlayStation or Xbox, now's your chance to play some custom zombies. Get a Steam Deck, they work fine, perfectly fine. You don't have to jump through hoops to get them working on the device. You can download them straight from Steam, and they work perfectly. The other thing I will mention is obviously it's a Call of Duty game. It takes up about 90 gigs. I think I've already mentioned that, but yeah, it's going to be a big game. It's going to take up a lot of storage, but if you are a fan of zombies, this is the perfect game to get for any zombies fan on the Steam Deck. It's portable, it's on the go, you don't need an internet connection, and you can play hundreds of custom zombies maps. So what's not to like? And that's what I've been doing a lot of the time on the Steam Deck, is playing custom zombies on Black Ops 3. So it had to be number 2 on this list. So here we are, it's finally time to talk about number 1 on the list, and there was no doubt in my mind when I was making this list for the first time what was going to be number 1, and it is of course Red Dead Redemption 2. Now I remember last year playing Red Dead 1 on the Switch and being blown away at the fact that I could play Red Dead 1 on the go. And a year later, here I am playing Red Dead 2 on the go. It's unreal seeing this game run natively on a portable console, and it works incredibly well. I did see a lot of videos before I got a Steam Deck saying that it plays up a bit and there are a few frame drops, which is true, but it's definitely playable on the Steam Deck. You can play it. But yeah, you do have to play with the settings a little bit. You do have to bring some of the settings down, and it does look a bit grainy and blurry. But because it's such a small screen, you can kind of get over it. The game runs really well. You can play it no problem. You can go through the game. You don't have to connect to the internet to play it. You do have to authenticate it now and again, like you do with GTA 5. But other than that, you can play it. So authenticate it. Say you've got a long plane journey, get a power bank, get a Steam Deck. You can play Red Dead 2 for 4 hours on a plane. So what's not to love about that? Red Dead 2 on the go. I've had a lot of fun playing it. I've been playing through it again, and yeah, it's just unbelievable seeing it run natively on a portable device. I don't know if that's baffling to anyone else. I don't know if anyone else is watching this thinking how mad that is. Red Dead 2 is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. I know it came out in 2018. It's been about 6 years now, but it still blows my mind how good that game looks. And yeah, you do have to drop the textures just a little bit on the Steam Deck, but it still looks really good and it still performs okay. There are a few frame drops. The battery does drain quite a lot because it's Red Dead 2 and it does take up a lot of space. I think it's the biggest game I've got on my Steam Deck. I think it's like 112 gig, so it does take up a lot of space, which is to be expected. But yeah, in terms of it running, in terms of playing it, it works well. I've played a lot of hours. I've put a lot of hours into it, and yeah, I still can't believe I've got Red Dead 2 on a portable device. That's just mind blowing to me. So it had to be number one on this list. But if you can compromise a little, then you're gonna have a great time playing Red Dead 2 on the Steam Deck. Probably haven't put across all the points I wanted to about each game, but this wasn't really a review of each game. It was just to show you what runs on the Steam Deck, what I've been playing personally, and yeah, give you a bit of an idea if you are looking to get a Steam Deck in the future, what you can actually play on it. And you can play a lot of games. There are some games I haven't even mentioned, like Watch Dogs, Sleeping Dogs, Tomb Raider, Just Cause 3, Far Cry 3, Far Cry 5 that I have played on the Steam Deck and I've had a lot of success with. There are a few games that you can't play on the Steam Deck, like Black Ops 6 or FIFA FC 25, because they're not supported. But who needs that when you've got Red Dead 2 and Black Ops 3 Custom Zombies? So there is like a 50-50 on what you can play on here. Some new games you can't play, but you don't need them when you've got games like I've mentioned today. But I thought I'd just give you a bit of an idea of what you can actually play on the Steam Deck if you are looking at getting one. I know I have rambled on a bit. I haven't had a script in front of me, so I have just been chatting shit. But yeah, as I'm recording this, it's about 5 in the morning, so that's when my voice sounds a bit like this and I look a bit tired. It's because it's very early in the morning and I'm sleep deprived. But yeah, I've got no script in front of me, so if I have been rambling on a bit, I do apologise. But I thought I'd just give you an idea of what you can actually play on the Steam Deck before you buy one. Give you a bit of an idea if there are games that you were worried about that wouldn't run, or you were wanting to play a certain game on here. If I mentioned it today, then there you go. But what I would say, if you are looking at a Steam Deck and you want to see if a certain game runs on it, go on YouTube it, go and do your research first, and you'd be pleasantly surprised at what you can actually run on this device. There's a lot that works on here, but some games do not. If you are looking at like FC 25 or a game like that, do your research first, because even though someone might have a video of them playing it on the Steam Deck, that has probably been done through installing Windows on the device, which you have to jump through a few hoops to do that. But if you want to play it natively, you have to do your research and make sure it actually works before you get a Steam Deck. I don't want anyone to be disappointed playing a certain game. They want to play a certain game on the device and they can't because it's not available. So yeah, just do your research if you are looking at games for the Steam Deck. If you're getting one for Christmas, just do your research. Get a big micro SD card as well. I've only got 512 gig, I think, and I've completely filled it already. I think they do 2 terabyte micro SDs now, which is insane. But yeah, make sure you get a big micro SD as well, or just get a big SSD in the Steam Deck itself. That's my only advice, because games do take up a lot of storage nowadays, especially fully fledged AAA games like Red Dead or Forza Horizon. So if you are looking at playing bigger games, get a big storage device. Yeah, I can't recommend the Steam Deck enough. It's probably the best purchase I've ever made game console wise. So if you are getting one for Christmas, or if you're just buying one soon, you're not going to be disappointed. It's super fun. Everyone I've spoke to who has one has said how glad they are that they've converted from the Switch to the Steam Deck, because I do love the Switch, but it is old now, and some of the games, the newer games, just look a bit tragic on there. FC25, Mortal Kombat 1. But with the Steam Deck, you get that full console experience on the go, and it is a bit big, it is a bit bulky, but you get used to it. Honestly, it's comfortable to hold. It's more comfortable than the Switch. So yeah, I highly recommend getting a Steam Deck if you are getting one. And leave your comments down below. What games have you been playing on the Steam Deck? Is there anything you recommend for me from my choices in this top 10 list that I haven't played or haven't mentioned? And yeah, are you getting a Steam Deck soon? Are you excited? What are you going to play first? Leave those comments down below. If you have enjoyed today, please subscribe. Please leave a like on the video. It helps out a lot. Thank you for watching. I don't think I've got anything else to say. Please go and watch my Call of Duty Zombies retrospective. That video's still struggling, but other than that, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you when I see you.